Good evening. Do you want to take your licensing exam? Do you want to become a boiler operator? Do you want to become a stationary engineer? I don't know if you do, but I'm going to help you if you wish to do so. So here we are moving right along. I am so tired and exhausted and have to be at work early in the morning. It's already late at night and the World Series is on. However, I am still going to throw down a lesson. And this is Chapter 13, the licensing exam or test licensing exam from the review. Critical pressure is the pressure at which the density of water and steam are the same. As steam is being produced, its pressure is controlled and safety valves protect the boiler if the pressure control fails. Boiler horsepower is the amount of energy equal to the evaporation of 34.5 pounds per hour of water from a feed water temperature of 212 degrees Fahrenheit. A boiler vent is located at the highest part of the steam side of the boiler. A draft fan located between the boiler and the stack is used in an induced draft system. A pump test is a safety valve test performed to determine if a safety valve opens at the correct pressure. Saturated steam is steam that is in equilibrium with water at the same temperature and pressure. If a quick opening valve is used as a bottom blowdown valve, it must be located between the boiler and the slow opening valve. A 2-element feed water regulator controls the feed water by measuring the water level in the boiler and steam flow out of the boiler. A low water fuel cutoff secures the burner in the event of a low water condition. Carbon dioxide dissolves in condensate and forms carbonic acid, which can cause corrosion. Boiler water with a low pH can cause acidic corrosion. FGR is an emissions control method in which moderate amounts of flue gas are recaptured and recirculated back through the burner along with the secondary air. That is flue gas recirculation. With an atomizing fuel oil burner, the mixture of air fuel oil passes through the register that causes it to spin into the combustion chamber. The viscosity of fuel oil is normally represented as the Seebolt viscosity. In the event of a flame failure, the programmer shuts the burner down. Reducing excess air while still completely burning the fuel decreases the heat loss to the atmosphere. Cross-limited control increases safety by adding a linkage system that prevents airflow from going too low for the amount of fuel flow during load changes. Cross-limited control. Oxygen trim is a control strategy used to adjust the air-fuel ratio of a burner according to the results from a flue gas oxygen analyzer. Units normally used to measure draft are inches of water column. An air heater heat from the gases of combustion to heat the combustion air before it mixes with the fuel. Draft must be proportional to the flow of fuel for proper operation and efficient fuel consumption. A steam pressure gauge must be protected by a siphon. Locations where painting or dipping is performed are examples of extra hazard areas. A pre-ignition check includes verifying that the fuel pressure proving switch is closed. So we're 5 minutes in. The maximum allowable working pressure is determined by the ASME. Water column, gauge glass, blowdown. Blowdown is a process of opening valves to remove buildup in line and the sight glass. Explain how flue gas recirculation is used to reduce the level of NOx emissions. NO2, the gas captured from exhaust and recirculated to the burner along with compressed air. Describe differences in an induced fan and forced draft. Induced is draft produced by a fan pulling air from the furnace. Forced draft is produced by a fan in front of the boiler and forces air into the furnace. That is an excellent way of putting it. We're at 6 minutes and 4 seconds. Licensing exam 2. Let's knock this out. A turbine converts the energy from the expansion of high pressure steam into the mechanical energy of rotation. A higher steam pressure results in a higher boiling point for water in a boiler. Feed water can be pumped through a economizer where it is heated by the gases of combustion. A control loop contains a primary element, a control element, and a final element. The boiler vent is located at the highest part of the steam side of the boiler. A steam separator is used to improve the quality of steam in order to prevent damage from water hammer. When steam is superheated, the temperature increases with no change in pressure. According to the ASME code, the maximum size of both the bottom blowdown line and the surface blowdown line is 2.5 inches. The water column and gauge glass should be blown down at least once every shift or whenever the water level is in doubt. A variable speed drive is a motor controller used to vary the electrical frequency to an AC motor in order to control its rotational speed. Surface tension of boiler water is changed by the impurities that float on the water surface. High alkalinity can lead to caustic embrittlement, which can cause metal to crack along seams and at the ends of tubes. Safety relief valve is installed after a fuel oil heater to protect against excessive fuel oil pressure. Cathodic protection of underground storage tanks uses the flow of electric current to protect against corrosion. A therm is a unit used to measure the heat content of natural gas and is equal to 100,000 BTUs. Natural gas is combustible gas that consists mainly of methane with small quantities of ethylene, hydrogen, and other gases. Steam pressure is the most important measurement used to determine the balance between steam generation and use. Pre-purge occurs before a burner is allowed to fire. A modulating control system is used to adjust the firing rate to a degree that is proportional to the steam load. And forced draft is produced by a fan supplying air to a furnace. 8 minutes and 9 minutes. A variable speed drive can be used to adjust fan speed to maintain the correct amount of air for the amount of fuel used without wasting energy, without dampers that restrict flow. A major source facility emits 10 or more tons per year of any single air toxic, or 25 tons or more per year of any combustion of air toxics. A thermocouple consists of two dissimilar metals that are joined together to form a circuit that generates a voltage proportional to the difference in temperature between the hot and cold ends of the wire. An automatic non-return valve should be opened during startup when the steam pressure on the boiler reaches 75 to 85% of the line pressure. When cutting a boiler in on line equipped with two-handed operated steam stop valves, the pressure on the boiler should be slightly lower than line pressure. 1 pound of water is needed to produce 1 pound of steam. Steam that is equilibrium without water and the same temperature and saturation. Define saturated steam. Explain why it's necessary to blow down a boiler. Remove sludge and surface sediment that can cause damage. Explain the need for excess air in the combustion process, primary, secondary, and excess. Describe the steps that must be performed prior to igniting fuel in a burner. Program checks many boilers. Programs checked on many boilers. That's not a good answer, but it's 10 minutes and we'll call it. That's burning through the Chapter 13 review. Like, subscribe, share. This is for artistic and educational purpose only. I will link a Bitcoin or Ethereum address below. Feel free to donate if you'd like to contribute to content creation. Thanks for being here, and I hope that this helps you on your journey. Have a positive and productive, and good night.